So apparently, the famous Italian endocrinologist Francis Tufano discovered the cause of the distended gut in steroid-abusing bodybuilders, and his belief is that it is microwave ovens and EMF background radiation that's screwing up everybody's hormones. This is not the case. What do I mean this is not the case? Well, I'm going to leave links in the description showing what causes palumboism. And what causes palumboism is kind of what causes a distended gut in most people. And aside from the hormone abuse, most people are not abusing growth hormone and other forms of hormones and insulin and things like that. But the fact of the matter is, what happens is carbohydrate abuse. Simple carbohydrate abuse. And this is why, I got back to an almost Atkins diet, basically because, as I said, I was doing great on a lower carbohydrate, nutrient-dense, high-protein vegan diet that was basically an Atkins diet, basically between Atkins and the Zone diet. My main nutritional influencers were not vegetarians and not vegans. My main nutritional influencers were Dr. Atkins, first and foremost, Dr. Robert C. Atkins. Second, Adele Davis. Third, Dr. Barry Sears, and then to lesser extents people like Nicholas Perricone and Daniel G. Amen, which came later. But my primary influencer was Dr. Robert C. Atkins, the guy that created the Atkins diet, which he is infamous for. Should be famous, but unfortunately he's infamous for. Why do we see the physiques that we see? And Frank's idea that it's harder for bodybuilders to get these classic physiques, I don't think is accurate. I think that plenty of people do achieve classic physiques if they put the effort forth. This is the thing that people don't understand. There's a difference in the way people lift today for bodybuilding, and there's a difference in the nutritional quality of the food that people choose to eat. You don't see too many people eating like Vince Gironda. People might remember my video, The First Carnivore, Vince Gironda. Why did Joe Rogan lose his bubble gut after going on the carnivore diet? Because it helps with insulin resistance. Okay, it helps reverse insulin resistance. Not as well as a more balanced diet might, but it does help with insulin resistance. You can only exercise away the insulin stimulation from carbohydrate so much. And that's what Dr. Barry Sears explains about these athletes that think they can get away with eating whatever they want and they'll just burn it off. You can't burn off the damage it does to the system. It also causes, every time you get a spike in blood sugar, it also damages it causes oxidative stress in many ways, and it also causes cross-linking. I've dealt with this in previous videos that I've done on theories of aging. So essentially, every time you get a spike in blood sugar, it ages you. It also causes insulin resistance, which decreases insulin sensitivity, which increases palumboism. Another thing is modern bodybuilders who are looking to become mountains of muscle inject themselves with insulin. My mother was a type 1 diabetic and depended on insulin to live, so I know all about insulin. And my brother, who was into bodybuilding, actually had considered stealing my mother's insulin and injecting it to make gains. That's one thing. I will agree with Frank on this. Modern bodybuilding is not healthy. Bodybuilding was healthy. Original bodybuilding was healthy back when it first was devised as physical culture, and even during the Frank Weeder era, when Frank Weeder created bodybuilding, more or less it was a hell of a lot healthier to be a bodybuilder than it was to be an everyday person, because the diet was better and all blah, blah, blah. Now there is such a blending of drug culture and bodybuilding culture, that the two have become one. Many bodybuilders downslide into drug addiction. Okay, that's a common occurrence. But the thing is, if you have a bodybuilder, even if they're controlling their insulin sensitivity with a lower carbohydrate, higher protein diet, which many of them don't, many of them do dirty bulking. And what's dirty bulking? Dirty bulking is when you're eating anything to get the calories you need to add the muscle mass you think you're adding. But most people don't need a super high calorie surplus to add muscle. However, if you're shooting up insulin, okay, like the kind that's used to keep a type 1 diabetic's blood sugar stable, it will cause you to develop a bubble gut. Okay? So that's kind of what is more likely than EMF background radiation, cell phone use, and microwave ovens. There's a second reason that I'm making this video. Actually, it's probably the primary reason. Why are fat people fat? People might want to know, why are fat people fat? There's two reasons that I found working with fat people why fat people are fat. Number one, soda and juice. Soda and juice. Not diet soda. Diet soda is fine. Sugared soda, corn syrup, sweetened soda, and juice. Orange juice, apple juice, grape juice, any kind of juice. High C, Sunny D, whatever. Any type of sugar that you're chugging down, okay? That's the number one reason. The number two reason is fat people tend not to have the patience to eat good food. They don't want to do it. They don't want to take the time to take a pan, do a little stir fry, even maybe some pasta if you're eating pasta, maybe a little bit of pasta, some vegetables, and a little bit of meat. They don't want to do that. Okay, they don't want to take the time to dirty a pan, wash the pan, eat the food. It takes time. Microwave ovens basically have many health benefits. The vitamins are preserved much better in the vegetables, in microwaved vegetables, than they are in non-microwave vegetables, vegetables that are boiled and things like that, unless you drink the juices. Stewing is, of course, the best way to cook vegetables if you're drinking the juices. As is microwaving is the best, of course. But the fact of the matter is, so many people are horrified of microwave radiation and what it might do to them, despite how many studies have been done to prove microwave ovens are safe, effective, quick, easy, and that people can successfully do them. This is the thing that people don't understand with fat people. Fat people might not know how to cook, but they all know how to make a TV dinner. And they can very easily adapt making a TV dinner to making a microwave recipe. Betty Crocker used to have a microwave cookbook. I don't know if they still do. My point is that by scaring off fat people from the use of microwave ovens, it makes people cook their foods in unsafe manners and time-consuming manners. Another thing with meat cooked in a microwave oven. I'm not a meat eater. I am a 100% plant-based vegetarian. I don't call myself a vegan because I'm trying not to get caught up in the crazier side of that. But my diet is vegan. My lifestyle, not so much. My diet is vegan. Okay. The reason I don't call myself a vegan, like I feed my cat liver and chicken hearts and things like that, because my cat is a cat. My cat eats that to stay healthy. So I can't really call myself a vegan because I'm not like totally wackadoodle. And some of the vegans take it to a level that's a little weird. That's why I call myself 100% plant-based vegetarian or a strict vegetarian or something like that. Sometimes I call myself a vegan just so people know what the hell I'm talking about. But about the meat, when you cook meat with dry heat, it forms AGEs, which cause cross-linking with age you, which they age you, cause cancer, cause other diseases, cause insulin resistance. Okay, I dealt with this in my cross-linking theory of aging video. Microwave meat, cooking meat in the microwave like we used to. My mom was a big avid microwave cooker because she was lazy. okay? But you know what? Cooking things like hamburgers and things like that in the microwave, so long as they're cooked through, it's actually healthier because you're not getting that char on the outside that causes the cancer and the diabetes and the health problems. So by people scaring people away from the use of microwave radiation, the microwave radiation is all coming to get everybody. That's why everybody's fat. It's not because of what they're eating. No. Not because of what they're eating. It's the microwave radiation. Okay? That's what irks me so badly, is because I eat a lot of microwave food. I don't do stir fries. I could use water and stir fry vegetables, but I prefer to microwave them because it's quicker, and then I add my canola oil or other healthy oils onto that so that the oil isn't degraded with dry heat and forms AGEs and things of that nature. But the problem I have is this frightening of people from microwave oven use and things like that is really imprisoning them in the lifestyle they're in of being fat and eating their chips and eating their this and eating their that and eating their prepackaged foods and things of that nature. And people go, well, I'm not telling people to eat these foods. No, but you're scaring people away from microwave ovens. And I'm not saying that Frank doesn't have the right to say these things. Frank has the right to say anything he wants. Any wrong, stupid, idiotic opinion he wants. The reason bodybuilders that we see, and I'm going to get into this third part of the video, the reason bodybuilders we see do not have physiques like Frank Zane or Arnold Schwarzenegger or even Lou Ferrigno or Steve Reeves or any of these classic physique people, or Jack LaLanne for that matter, is not because of, Wi-Fi radiation, okay? What it's because of is differences in training, differences in diet, differences in drug use. Okay, even a lot of the people that used steroids back in the day used them sparingly, not like they're doing them today. And they were using steroids. They weren't using things for farm animals like SARMs and things like that. They were using human hormones, you know what I mean? And that's what I think is so interesting, is how can you overlook that the reason that people are built so drastically differently in the bodybuilding field has nothing to do with microwave radiation and everything to do with a change in who the bodybuilding judges are favoring. They're favoring freaky deaky muscle. They're not favoring the same kinds of physiques. People do achieve those physiques. Not as common, but people do achieve those physiques. Why is it not that common that people achieve those physiques? Because the achievement of those physiques takes a lot of time, energy, planning, and everything else. Not just the training that has to be on point, the diet has to be on point, everything, the sleep has to be on point, every aspect of their life has to be on point. But you know what doesn't have to be on point? They don't have to be wearing ridiculous ass Dragon Ball Z looking Wi-Fi radiation blocking clothing like Frank Tufano was selling. Okay? That's the bottom line. The Wi-Fi radiation is not why bodybuilders look different. The difference is in drug use and in training, supplementation, and diet. Very few people have what it takes to stick to that strict lifestyle of people like Steve Reeves, Arnold Schwarzenegger, Frank Zane is a wonderful example. Jack LaLanne is another wonderful example. Vince Gironda. They don't have the wherewithal, the metal to stick, and metal to stick to this. Not metal as in like heavy metal or a metal sword, but metal. They don't have the willpower to stick to what is necessary to achieve classical physiques. But those physiques are achieved. I think people like Greg Doucette, some of the YouTubers I watch, Greg Doucette, Will Tennyson, some of them have achieved these classic physiques, okay? Or more classic physiques. through being on point with all these things. Okay? But that's not the average person. The average person doesn't have that much willpower. And that's all for this video. I mean, do follow the links in the description so that you see what I'm saying is true. And, you know, microwave ovens are not going to kill you unless there's something wrong with the microwave oven. And if there's something wrong with the microwave oven, don't use it. Also keep in mind, I am not a physician. I'm not a doctor, a dietitian, etc. This video is not to be taken as medical advice.